Well, how y'all are? It's gregarious drivers here, and thanks. Gregarious drivers coming to you not from Greensboro, North Carolina. We're here on the outskirts of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Take the next right onto Miller's Chapel Road, then turn right onto US 70 West.
And we have our friend, say hi to Miss GPS Lady, everybody.
Take the next right onto US 70 West.
We're actually not going to do that. We're going to disobey Miss GPS Lady. Because there's more of a scenic back way I'd like to take to our next destination.
Continue on US 70 West for 3/4 of a mile.
Are you done? Okay. So we just, excuse me, I always say we. I just had lunch at this place called McCall's, or excuse me, McCall's Barbecue and Seafood House. The main reason why I had lunch there was because it was a buffet. I'm a buffet connoisseur, and the purpose of this video, ooh, that truck's getting a little close to me, but the purpose of this video is to give y'all a little bit of a review. Going to drive around the outskirts of Goldsboro. I don't think we're actually in Goldsboro, the city limits, but we are, you know, in Wayne County, which Goldsboro is the county seat of. It's a long red light. But anyway, had lunch there, and it was okay. It was not, unfortunately, I wish I could tell you it's better than Golden Corral, which I really like a lot,
Continue
but it was
North
not.
Carolina 111 south for 2 miles.
It was not as good as Golden Corral. It was actually more expensive than Golden Corral. It was like $2 more, and yet the selection was not as good. Yeah, crazy, right? If you hear some loud airplanes, we're near the Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, is what we'll call it. Anyway. Yeah, so Golden Corral for lunchtime, at least, you're gonna pay about $8 or so, and this place, McCall's, is about $10. Oh, but then you got to pay for your beverage, you know, unless you want to drink water. But who wants to drink water at a buffet, especially a barbecue buffet? You got to have sweet tea, so it's an extra $2.19, and you know, and then if your server does a pretty good job, which mine did, you got to give them another couple bucks for tip. I mean, you don't have to tip them, but come on. Let's have courtesy, y'all. So I get to this buffet, and my pet peeve about buffet, or any place in general, is I do not like to go there when it's like busy. You know what I'm saying? I try to avoid that because I work in retail, and when I work, most of the time it's very busy, so I like to kind of lay back on some things. Yeah. But this place, I get there, they open at 11, and I pull up there, it's about 11:05, 11:10, and the parking lot's already like 3/4 of the way full. I'm like, damn, man. You know, don't people in Goldsboro work? You know, don't people have this strict lunch hour? 12 to 1, strict lunch hour. You know, but,
In half a mile, turn right onto State Highway 581, Bill Lane Boulevard.
oh, okay, well. So, anyway. Parking lot's already
Turn right
kind of
onto
busy.
State Highway 581, Bill Lane Boulevard.
But you go there and you...
Continue for 5 miles.
The first big difference between them and Golden Corral, or even my favorite, the now unfortunately closed Bill Ellis Barbecue in Wilson, North Carolina, you pay at the end of your time there. Most buffets, especially Golden Corral, you pay, well, most Chinese buffets you pay at the end, but Golden Corral you pay at the very beginning. You know, you get your drink already, you know. So I sit down, you know, and just within probably, you know, 30 seconds or so, I'm served. Then I go to the buffet bar, okay? And this buffet bar is, the thing I didn't like about it was you go to Golden Corral and it's a very open, sprawling buffet bar, okay? McCall's was this long, skinny bar on the side of the restaurant, okay? And the thing about it is they had different foods on each side of the buffet bar. So, you know, you had to go on one side to get, like, pulled pork barbecue, and then the other side you had to get mac and cheese. And, you know, it was just a little too much moving around in a small area, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And of course, I'd already told you selection not very good. Macaroni and cheese was like the only starch they had. I mean, yeah, they had lima beans, they had corn, but they did not have mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh my gosh, they did not have dumplings. Can you believe that? No dumplings, which is the number one thing that I miss about Bill Ellis Barbecue. They had dumplings on their buffet. Not only did they have dumplings, but right next to the dumplings, they had a bowls. This nice high rack of bowls that you can use just for dumplings if you want to. Because the thing about dumplings is they, you know, the gravy. It's kind of hard to put them on a plate because the gravy goes everywhere. You know what I mean? And another thing I didn't like was the plates. The plates had 3 sections. They had one for your main entree and then 2 for like your sides. It kind of reminded me like I was back in, you know, eating school lunch again at Colonel Richardson High School, you know. I think most of the time our plates were like that at the school lunch, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, come on, y'all. They had barbecue chicken. They did have beef brisket, which is really good. They had pulled pork barbecue. They had the East Carolina version, which no sauce, but then they had the Western Carolina, which did have barbecue sauce. At the table, it was kind of weird. They had ketchup, they had hot sauce, but they did not have barbecue sauce. They also did not have, you know, your waitress had to provide you with the napkins, okay? They did not have these, you know, the napkin dispensers like a lot of places do, especially barbecue places where the food is messy. They also do not have moist towelettes, okay? The hush puppies, they had hush puppies, okay, lots of starch, I guess, but, oh my gosh, this truck is going to cut that car. Oh, okay. Actually, it's not, but it looked like it was. Okay, the hush puppies were on this high rack. The only way you could get them was you had to use tongs, which is pretty pathetic. I mean, hush puppies, you know, are something you'd want to grab with probably a big spoon, right? But McCall's, you got to get tongs. They're on a pretty high level. I mean, I'm 5'8", so I'm not Shaquille O'Neal, but I'm also not, you know, I'm not Tiny Tim either. But still, I was having trouble getting the hush puppies out of the tray there. And let's see. Another thing, like Golden Corral, I noticed that the seating it's just a lot.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Westbrook Road.
Thank you. Golden Corral, the seating arrangement is a lot more spread out. You have a lot more room. You're not like right on top of your neighbor. This place was just a little too cozy, in my opinion, seating wise.
Take the next right onto Westbrook Road.
And let's see, Westbrook. Also,
Westbrook Road for 1 mile.
also, now Goldsboro city limits. Okay, another thing that ticked me off was if you were like a fish out of water, okay, if you were, let's say you're in eastern North Carolina for the very first time, you just flew in, got off the plane at the airport where, and you're from New York, you want to have a good home-cooked barbecue meal. So you go to McCall's, you go to the buffet, and nothing on the buffet. A lot of buffets, they'll have the name of what is, in the buffet case in front of you, the name of the item, So on the buffet, of course, you have all your...
Turn left onto South Slocum Street.
Thank you, darling. So on the buffet, another thing I didn't like was, you have the salad bar, like, right at the very beginning. I'm like, who in the hell goes to a barbecue seafood place and has a salad? Give me a freaking break, right?
The next left onto South Slocum Street.
Especially a buffet. Oh, and then I had my very first trip. The lady was just so slow. I mean, she was like, one of the slowest moving people you'll ever. Oh my gosh, what's with the traffic today? Jiminy crickets. God's sakes.
Continue on South Slocum Street for half a mile.
But yeah, if you have somebody moving slow in front of you, oh my gosh, this buffet is like the worst. And so you have your salad, then your veggies, which way too many veggies, not enough, like, mac and cheese is...
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Your mac and cheese is the only veggie. And then you have all the meats, but a lot of things were deep fried. And I don't have a problem with deep fried food, but I'd like to see at least that labeled, So I think one of the items have like deep fried pork chops or something. It was okay. So I'm gonna cut this lady off, the announcer lady. But that Goldsboro Event Center, that is where we're going to be going soon. Have a meeting in a half hour with the U.S. Highway 70 Corridor Association, and the purpose of that is to convert U.S. Highway 70 into Interstate 42. And of course, I'll have another commentary video about that on this channel at a later date. Anything else I want to say about the buffet? Service was very good. My waitress really did a good job of keep checking up on me. Not too frequently, just frequently enough. My sweet tea glass never got more than halfway empty. Napkins were very good. Everything was accounted for there. Generally did a good job. Let's see. And then, of course, I paid my bill. But unfortunately, when I paid my bill, you know what they say about lasting impressions? First impression is very important, okay? But also lasting impression, especially in a customer service environment, which I would consider the restaurant industry, that element to be a part of the customer service experience. But okay, so you take somebody's order, right? And in my job at the grocery store industry, if when I'm cashiering or doing the customer service desk, usually I'm the very, very last person that the customer is going to see before they leave the store. Okay, very last person. And that is the same true at McCall's seafood restaurant. Okay, or in a lot of restaurants, you pay your bill if you pay your bill at a cash register, you're the very, very last person that if you're a cashier, you're the very last person the customer is going to see. So I pay the bill, You know, first of all, you know, it's a young lady who unfortunately, you know, doesn't appear her parents or even the restaurant management taught her politeness. Okay, you know, never greets me or acknowledges me. You know, we make eye contact, just hand her the bill, and that's it. You know, let's see. What else? Well, yeah. So I hand her the bill, and you know, it was like the total bill was like $12.90 something. So I hand her 20. She gives me change back, and you know, never says thank you or even have a nice day, goodbye. You know, none of that. Just silence. And I have to tell, you know, and I'll tell a person thank you, even if they don't tell me thank you, because, you know, my parents, fortunately, did a very good job of beating into my head to always be polite. Please and thank you are two of the most important words you'll ever use as a human and need to use, in my opinion. And it's been my parents' opinion, too. So anyway, McCall's Seafood Barbecue House. What grade would I give them? It was a little pricey, I'll say that, especially for lunch, especially for the kind of food, the buffet it was. Okay, so that I can't really give a good score to. Selection, I cannot really give a score to. Service, I didn't like, my cashier was not very friendly, but service was okay. So service, I'll give a 4 out of 5. Okay, 0 for price, 0 for selection. So if I average the three of them together, I don't know what my average score is, but it's probably like a 3 or a 4 out of 10 or something. So not very good. The food was tasty, so maybe, okay. Final score for McCall's Seafood and Barbecue Place, I will have to give them a 5 out of 10. Now, there's another buffet place in Goldsboro. I think it's Murphy's or it's some other buffet place in Goldsboro that I really would like to try sometime. So we'll see to that. There, believe it or not, there's 40,000 people that happen to live in Goldsboro, but yet there's no Golden Corral. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do, right? Okay, this is Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, so we need to okay, that's the check-in gate. Okay. So yeah, there used to be a Golden Corral, went out of business a few years ago. Closest one is Kinston, which is 15 minutes east, and then there's one in Smithfield, which is like 20 to 30 minutes east, or west, excuse me. But anyway, yeah. McCall's Seafood and Barbecue House. The food is tasty, the service okay, price and selection, value not so great. So, you know, if selection is, you know, if you're a stickler for price and selection, avoid it. But if you're not and you're okay with that, okay, just, you know, give it a try at your own risk. Alright, well, that's my video. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.